They say you overthink, that you're too serious, too intense, that you make things complicated. You speak and the air changes. Not because you're wrong, but because you're real. You see what others overlook. You question what others accept. And soon, people begin to step away. They laugh at things that feel hollow to you. They obsess over gossip, trends, and trivia. While you're lost in thoughts about purpose, mortality, the aching weight of being alive, you learn to nod, to mimic joy. But inside, you feel like a visitor in your own species, and then it creeps in. Is there something wrong with me? But what if the issue isn't you? What if the world just isn't wired for people who think like you do? Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher who wrote with fire, believed that the truly awake will often walk alone. Not because they want to, but because seeing too much burns the bridges others walk blindly across. This video is about the truth few dare to say out loud, that the more clearly you think, the harder it becomes to belong. It starts early. You're a kid in a classroom, surrounded by noise. You're not arrogant. You're just elsewhere. While others copy answers, you wonder why the question matters. Why do people say things they don't mean? Why does fitting in mean shutting up? You're not trying to stand out. You're trying to make sense. But slowly you learn that silence is safer, that asking why can make people uncomfortable. That truth isn't always welcome, not in classrooms, not in conversations. So you adapt, you perform, you hide your real thoughts under layers of social camouflage. And with each passing year, the gap between what you feel and what you express widens. People call you distant, but really you're exhausted, tired of pretending small talk means something, tired of filtering your thoughts to make others feel comfortable. Because you've learned the hard way, depth often drives people away. Here's the paradox. We say we admire genius, but when it walks into the room, we shrink back. Why? Because real intelligence doesn't just invent things, it dismantles illusions. It questions comfort. It doesn't flatter the herd, it threatens it. Nietzsche called this the path of the Übermensch, the one who dares to live beyond the rules. But that path, it's not celebrated, it's lonely. In the workplace, those who challenge norms are told to be more positive. In schools, those who question the system are told to stay on task. On social media, nuance is punished, simplicity goes viral, complexity is buried. So what happens to the deep thinker? They shrink, they censor, they sit in meetings, in conversations, in crowds, unseen. Until the world ends up with silent brilliance, with raw insight buried under polite smiles, with souls screaming for meaning in a culture obsessed with distraction. But Nietzsche didn't see this as weakness, he saw it as the price of awakening. He believed that to live authentically, you must be willing to stand alone. That solitude is not loneliness, it's resistance, a sacred space where the soul breathes without asking permission. He wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." But finding your why often means letting go of the how everyone else follows. Because when you wake up to truth, to suffering, to meaning, to the absurdity of modern life, you don't fit the script anymore. You stop pretending, you stop pleasing, you stop needing the crowd to feel real. That's not ego, that's evolution. So if you've ever sat in a room full of people and felt miles away, if you've ever bitten your tongue because you knew your thoughts were too much, if you've ever questioned your worth because no one seems to get you, know this, you are not broken. You are just awake, and the cost of awareness is real, but so is its reward. Because while the herd runs toward comfort, you are walking toward truth. And truth doesn't need applause, it only needs the courage to be seen, even if that means standing alone.